we have Oxygen Overdrive against Bounty Hunters, and these are two incredibly talented teams. Oxygen Overdrive, one of the only two teams, I believe, to go 5-1 in their qualifiers in the round robin. I think actually the other team was Otaku, funny enough. But obviously a very strong team. Bounty Hunters, though, I mean, has so many strong players on that team. Davcrash, do you want to tell us, who do you expect to see? Who should we be keeping an eye on going into this next match from these two teams?
Yeah, so in terms of the matches you could definitely get in West League, this is what I would consider two of my personal top three teams. And I think we're really gonna have a huge match on our hands here. And the biggest thing to look at is Gumi, definitely one of the best West goalies, if not the West goalie. He is kind of the West goalie. Definitely going to be a big match between him and Kilius in terms of who can provide the most value to their team in that goalie position. And I would say that matchup is definitely going to be something to watch as we do get kind of into talking about team specific stuff.
Yeah, that is going to be definitely very exciting. So what characters do you expect to see banned going into this next match? Do you think this will be maybe a more flexible match? Do you think there's going to be any standout target bans, or maybe they're going to, very stage dependent thing?
If I'm the side of Bounty Hunters and I'm looking at Oxygen Overdrive, I would definitely be a massive fan of banning Era. It's kind of the character that Naka plays a lot, and really getting it off the field is definitely something I would consider. In terms of Bounty Hunters, what you ban is kind of difficult when you think about the flexibility that Kainoob has, when you think about the flexibility that Gravity can kind of bring to the table. He can kind of play that Estelle, Juno, Vice. He's a decent amount to work with, and Gumi himself can also kind of flex a little bit. So I would have to say your ban would definitely be their favorite characters based on what type of awakenings / map is really in the game.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Obviously, it's a huge advantage to have so many, strong characters in the pocket. You don't really have to worry about the character I feel most comfortable on is banned. Now I have to kind of move down to a secondary, which, I can pilot, but maybe not as effectively as, the character I'm most comfortable on. So obviously that's going to make it so much harder to ban against them too. Like you said, I would definitely expect in that case that they would, have to see what kind of awakenings they're offered, what kind of map they're going to, and things like that.
Yeah, and I definitely think a pick that you might have not seen before might come out here. A little bit of rune goalie.
Okay, interesting. I have heard a little bit of a rise of a rune goalie since the last I want to say 2 patches or micro patches, but I don't think I've physically seen any rune goalie yet.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the Gumi pick. He did it cool. back in beta. A little bit of rune goalie action going on. Started from what I remember by PP7, and then Gumi picked it up himself. Definitely was a bit of a menace on it. A little bit of people yelling at him for throwing their games, but you know what? He picked it up, and I think it's definitely a lot better than it was in the past. You take something like momentum boots, and you're able to kind of help your team a lot more than you were able to by running up as fast as possible, crossing that midfield line, and then if you need to get back to defend your barrier, you just press that spacebar.
Right. And maybe, a hidden buff of having that rune goalie available as well is I can't imagine their opposing team, any of their opponents actually have so much experience against rune goalie, since it's definitely not as common of a pick as, say, like a Kai or an Amy or something like that.
No, it's definitely really more on the out there type side on who you would get to kind of play that character, because most of the time you see something really good for rune in the starting. You probably might just pick him forward instead of trying to play him in the net. But you know what? If you do have the guy who is known for playing the rune in the net, might as well stick him on it.
Yeah, especially if he's good at it. Especially if he's one of the best goalies, just in general. Stick him on the character that he's gonna, be able to outplay maybe due to matchup knowledge, and also just maybe player diff them. It seems like a pretty strong combination. So definitely some solid reasons for going with that pick. If they choose to do so, we'll be seeing that pretty soon. So don't be going anywhere. But I'm definitely excited for this next match. Like you said, both of these teams are probably two of the best teams in the league. And I think we're going to have a really, really, really close back and forth game. And those are always the most fun to watch. So I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, back and forth games are always really enjoyable. And, in a league where there's a lot of individual skill thrown around, I think that seeing two really close teams is always a treat. Because you definitely get to watch individual players excel and really push their team kind of forward to that victory point.
Absolutely. So we should be getting into the match shortly. Looks like we are searching. I see some of the teammates from each team in Twitch chat. So I guess they're around. I guess. But yeah, no, like I said, we're just pretty excited for this one. I'm trying to see, looking at my notes, wondering what else I can ask about this, but I don't know. I mean, I just need to see this action, man. I know.
I'm here for it. I'm waiting. Yeah. I feel like I've pretty much gone through the whole rigmarole.
Yeah. Like, what else is there to say?
I know, right? I guess we could talk about Kai Noob, one of my favorite players to play with. I've been playing him for a long time. I know him well. Very flexible in that brawler position. He has a lot of stuff that he can play. Likes the Juliet, for the most part. So I wonder if we'll see a little bit of Julie action. Could be map dependent, right? Maybe if it's Amy's app, he might opt towards picking something like Rasmus.
Oh yeah.
But he definitely has a lot to work with compared to someone like Snake, where I think Snake is a very good player. I just think Kai Noob has a lot more of a character pool.
Yeah, more characters they can play just to push forward, more options available. And again, just making that's got to be another dimension. Maybe if you're going up against a team where one of their strongest players has multiple characters that they can play, you don't really want to ban against them. Maybe ban against someone else, take out another character that maybe their second scariest player is kind of more focused on. But when you have multiple players that can play multiple characters, that it's how do you even target ban that? You really have to play for what the game's going to throw at you, the map, the awakenings, so on and so forth. And so I want to talk about Kiliast on goalie as well. Not a player I've seen too often. Pretty excited to see this though. What can you tell me about Kiliast?
If I'm being completely 100% honest, I really don't know much about him. I would say out of the 6 players in this match, he's the one I have heard about the least. I know he played. I believe he played in beta. Yeah, he is a bit of a wild card to me. I really can't say too much. I know I've heard more about him recently than I have ever. So gotcha. I guess that's saying something there.
Well, I'm down to say that he's got to be at least a good player by association, right? If you've made it this far and you're on a team this good, that's not an accident. So I'm definitely excited to see, what he's able to, provide and bring to the table. The goalie is obviously such a stressful role, man. Because if anyone scores, it's always your fault, right? Like you're the one to blame. Why'd you let that go in? So I'm looking forward to see how they play, what character they're going to play, and just kind of in general if they're going to be maybe a more proactive goalie, maybe a more reactive goalie. Obviously it's going to depend a lot on the character as well, and just how he's able to synergize with the rest of the team with players that people may be more familiar with.
It's always the goalie's fault.
It's always the goalie's fault. I hate it.
It's always the goalie's fault. It doesn't matter what your forwards are doing. If it goes in,
absolutely not.
It's gotta be the goalie's fault.
Yeah, if they both got KO'd and you got scored on in a 3v1, it's still your fault. Like,
yeah, why didn't you say it?
Why? Yeah, you could have just not let them score. It's just that simple. But
that's the whole point of the game. You just don't let people score, right? Like
exactly. You really can't lose if you don't let them score. But also score. That part's probably more important, actually.
That's how we get on. That's how we get Oni Village.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. That is what happens in Oni Village. All right, here we go. We are loading into the game. No more stalling. Let's see what map we are going to. What awakenings we have. We have Amy's app. I don't know if this is a hot topic or not, but I love Amy's app, especially as a spectator / caster, just because of because of the chaos, man. I love seeing Rasmus on Amy's app. I just like watching Rasmus in general, to be fair. But it's just always exciting. I like seeing maps where people die a lot.
Yeah, I definitely can agree. I normally play the Rasmus on this map, so I press the funny button and watch people get yoinked into the hole over and over. And it gives me free dopamine.
I agree. Speaking of which, though, we're actually not going to see a Rasmus ban from either team, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see a Rasmus pick on both teams. Rasmus, obviously, a very good character, but, you know, maybe just a little bit stronger on Amy's app, particularly compared to some other maps. Looks like we're going to, like you said, we are going to be seeing Rune Goalie, which I'm looking forward to seeing. This is going to be really cool. And Snake is going to be on the Juliet, which I think makes a lot of sense. One of, you know, the best forwards in the game, can score, can kill, kind of a really strong jack of all trades.
Yeah, Rune Goalie. Not from the person I thought would be playing it. Instead,
oh, that's right. Yeah.
Gumi's going to be playing Dubu.
Okay.
You know what? Let him cook.
Let's see, yeah. I mean, we saw a Dubu goalie come out from who was that? Oh, shoot, it was like the match right before we casted. I cannot remember who it was. Yes, and it was awesome. It was Vaughn, that's right. I mean, he was playing forward half the time too, which was pretty cool. But anyways, looks like we have Stagger Swagger, Quick Strike opening Awakening as well. Going into game one, looking forward to seeing how these Awakenings are going to impact the rest of the game. A pretty quick kill. Oh, no, just kidding.
Stagger jump scare. But Snake did kill Kainoob at the start of the match there with that dash punch.
Okay.
And Kainoob losing his entire health bar to the rune buffs right there, getting banished into the double pillar. As this one down comes to Snake. Snake getting that buff from the Stagger Swagger speed. Not getting it. Instead choosing quick strikes, as Gumi's showing us why his APM is the highest among Omega Strikers players, using that emote. Gumi has created a whole new category, EPM, emotes per second. As it now comes to Snake, and Naka gonna pull Kainoob into the hole. Kainoob twice he's died already as Gumi comes down here. Snake low as all get out, as he is gonna pop that core flip to try and live, as Naka is sitting here with the pendulum swing. It doesn't really get anything from it, as it now comes back to him. Gravity trying to throw Juno Slimes to do anything here, but isn't really gonna get a value in Gravity. Hitting it into Kainoob's death touch, and it's gonna go right back into his own net, and a little bit of miscommunication there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a rough start, but you know they're just warming up. They're just getting started. Good start right now from Kile's team, and we're gonna go into the second round right now.
Yeah, Naka throwing out that death touch, trying to get a kill onto Gumi. Gumi walking forward there, trying to get some sort of value for his team as the Flame Flurry does come out from Snake, and Gravity on this top side is going to throw that Friend Fling, is going to get that barrier on Amy's Zap. Only one barrier that you have to work with, and it's really difficult to defend as the Tofu Fortress does come out, as Gravity core flips it, and now Naka going to pull Kainoob on into the hole again. Kainoob, we got to watch our positioning a little bit, as Snake is going to run back with his Stagger Swagger. Oh, almost Flying Phoenixes it into the barrier, but Naka's going to catch it on the back down, as Kainoob, a little lost here, whiplashes it into the center hole, as Snake going to pop that core flip, and Snake getting it off of that pillar on the top, and getting a kill and a goal for his team there.
Yeah, you know, we're seeing a lot of emotes coming out from Gumi. We're not seeing a lot of saves, though. There's a phrase I love in the FGC that goes, taunt to get bodied, and that's kind of what we've seen so far.
Taunt to get bodied indeed, but the one getting bodied is Kainoob, as his own teammate is taunted for him, but Snake could have hit that wall with the Fiery Fist. That's a set.
That might have been the fastest set we've seen today. Need to see some statistics on that, but going into the Awakenings, Julie up first, and Big Fish is right there. Do you think we're gonna just see the quick take on the Big Fish, or maybe there's something there she wants even more?
I would have to imagine the Julie... Oh, okay. Takes the Big Fish, instead of opting not to grab the Unstoppable. So maybe he's going to try and play more for kills.
Yeah, I can see that. Big Fish getting a small nerf, but like probably still very strong. We're going to see Unstoppable on Dubu, which I think is kind of interesting. It didn't seem like the it didn't seem like the, I guess, aggressive pressure was what was netting them the goals. Do you know any particular callouts on these awakenings that you think might be interesting picks like that?
So Gumi's taking the Unstoppable because otherwise it's going to go to one of the other team's forwards, and Unstoppable basically negates Rasmus's Death Touch.
Gotcha. Okay, really, really smart deny on Gumi's part then. It makes a lot of sense. And yeah, get right into set 2 now.
Yeah, and barrier already down on the side of O2O. I didn't even see it happen, but Gravity almost getting that one. The pillar coming out from Kilius to save that one as Kainub now really low, has to kind of play his life a little bit, but is going to get healed up by that Stagger Spire, and both Rasmuses, I think, pulled each other into the hole. One of them while he was dying, and the other one beforehand, as now Gravity with the core here is going to try and do something with the slick kicks that he does have. The Flame Flurry is going to come out from Snake, and Snake is dash punching the air there. Might have seen an invisible T-Mel. Wrong game, buddy, as the Topher Fortress does come out, and Kainub is dead again. Kainub getting pulled by the Death Touch from Naka once again. Naka sitting here on this bottom side of the map is an absolute menace, as it is going to come forward to Snake. Gumi going to pop his core flip back to Kilius. Kilius going to hit this one forward, and now Snake with the Stagger Swagger speed isn't going to get much value out of it. In the slime here, whoa!
Wow,
Kilius coming forward,
the needle.
Throwing out the core flip, but misses the core, and the pillar is going to hit it in off of Gravity Strike.
Yeah, that was some precision right there. I gotta wonder how accurate did you have to be? Oh my god, just kidding. We have a kill from Kainub just immediately on round start. You gotta watch out for that Rasmus on the stage, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you watch people die 20 times to it.
I love it.
And you go, surely they won't die to it again. And then we get round start where Naka getting pulled by Kainub's Death Touch there, as Kainub's about to have it up again, and Snake's gonna get caught by it this time. Guys, we gotta dodge the hook. We know he has it as this Rune Pillar comes up and saves this barrier, but Gravity managing to get it in the end. Gumi walking forward with this momentum boost is gonna lose his speed there, as Kainub is gonna get banished, possibly even killed here, but nothing really gonna come out as Snake does use the Flying Phoenix. So whoa, that hook went far, as now Kainub in a great position to get something done, but Gumi's actually losing the battle to Naka and Snake here on the bottom. There's Rune Pillar going to come out, Gravity throwing the slime down there. The friend fling isn't going to go fast enough or in the right direction there, as now Gumi walking forward using that Topher Fortress doesn't really get anything out of it. Here's another friend fling, innocent fast. Kilius having to use that Rune Pillar in place, as Kainub getting out of the banish at a perfect time, doesn't get anything from it though. And man, this game is sitting at kind of a standstill, going back and forth so far.
Yeah, this was the back and forth I was looking forward to seeing. That being said, Gumi's team not able to break down, not able to keep their own barrier up. Kilius team not able to break down that barrier so far. Just both teams going for a lot of plays. I really like they tried to get the core strike off the Rasmus ult, but as I'm speaking, Gumi's team able to find their goal at the top of the net.
Yeah, Kainub striking that one and then hitting it with a pendulum swing, just setting it to the top and almost grabbing Snake off rip. He definitely has some sort of awakening that gives him a little bit of a speed increase on that hook, because by god, it is going a million miles per hour, as Naka throws his too, and it also looks like his is going far, as Gumi is going to elusive in place. Unfortunately does lose that barrier to that core flip. Kili's gonna pop his own core flip, and there's a whiplash from Naka, sending it backwards into his team, as now Snake, with all the time in the world, just barely misses the core, as Kainub's gonna hook Naka into the center with that Death Touch, and now Gravity with the ultimate Make It Rain. Make it rain, he does, as it comes to Kainub. Kainub striking it into the bottom of the net. Does a little bit of a lag there, but you know what? He picked up the goal for his team, so he's pretty happy.
Yeah, that was a really, really, really nice answer from Bounty Hunters. After, losing the first set in a pretty quick fashion, they're able to take the second one almost just as quickly. So really nice job from them right there. Got some pretty interesting awakenings on the board right now with infinite stacks on stacks. I want to see if anyone's going to want to take that. Rasmus going for the specialized training, just going to make that hook even more dangerous on Amy Zap. So now, if you thought that was going to be a problem before, it's going to be a huge problem now for the blue team for Oxygen Overdrive.
Yeah, and Naka kind of, honestly, what I would say is making a mistake, not picking up that Adrenaline Rush, and Gravity able to snipe it before he can. Adrenaline Rush on Rasmus on this map is kind of really best in slot for him outside of, you know, specialized or anything to make his hook pull farther. It's really good because if you get that one kill and now you're zooming, you get the speed of like 10 million horsepower and you are moving on the map, but it might not matter as Snake is going to fire fist that one past Gumi. Gumi using the rollout there, but just not able to save it.
Yeah, really solid stuff right there. Also, notably, no Rasmus kill right after picking up the Awakening for his special.
Yeah, it does get that specialized, but hasn't managed to get a kill with it so far, but I would imagine it's going to come sometime soon as he's able to get on the other side of those players. And, you know, on the other side of those players, here he is, there it is. Doesn't manage to grab anyone within it, though, and it might be a detriment that it's actually going that far now that he has that specialized, because he's not able to trick people into walking into it. And now here comes Gumi on this bottom side, gonna pass it right to Kaiden. Kaiden gonna get banished, gonna get hit with a pillar, and combos into Snake, and now Gravity almost gonna get pulled himself, as now Snake, all the time in the world, core flips it, but just completely butchers it. I don't know where he was going in that one, going into the corner, and tries to dash punch that one past Gumi, and Gumi's holding on. Gumi is the line here. He is holding it down, and Gravity doing an excellent job dodging that banish while core flipping it, but Snake gonna get it on the other end, and there's that hook coming out from Naka. Not anything that he's gonna be able to do with it, and Killius walking forward, and there's the friend fling pass to pass, one slime to another into the net, and Gravity's gonna pick up a goal for his team.
Yeah, really nice job there. Slime's perfectly placed, just able to kind of 1-2 send it in, and Killius just not going to be able to get there in time to stop it.
Yeah, and Killius walking a little too far forward there. Didn't have any room shadow in the back to teleport to, as kind of in this bottom isn't getting much value out of his hook, as he is fighting for his life and stagger bar. But now maybe an opportunity. Pops the whiplash, doesn't really get anything out of it. Not sure if death touch is on cooldown. Throws the pendulum swing on air, as now it goes back to Gumi. Gumi gonna pass up to Gravity, and there's the hook. There's the death touch kill we were talking about, as the rollout does come through from Gumi, keeping it forward, and the friend fling and the pillars fighting for core control. I mean, at this point, as Gravity's just gonna tap that one in, as Killius had to clear it up there, and they pick up yet another point.
Yeah, just in time too. Snake just came back on Juliet, but just, you know, moments too late to be able to help on the defense.
Yeah, as Gravity throws this friend fling off the start, trying to get anything out of it. As, whoa, Kainu almost getting the barrier with that specialized, but is going to pendulum swing Snake into the center hold there, as Killius is going to have to teleport. Doesn't have a pillar, doesn't have a strike. Even if he did strike, he would have gotten hit by the pendulum swing, and Kainu's gonna put his team in first for this carousel.
Yep, and a really nice assist from Gumi, just putting that out there, not letting the core go anywhere but straight into the net. All right, we have a first pick Juno. I would expect to see, you know, like Timeless Creator probably. Yeah, there it is. Okay, Rune, I'm not entirely sure what they're going to be picking here, but extra special I feel like has to be denied from the Rasmus.
Cast to last. I want to see the cast to last Rune.
Hey, and there it is. Nice. Extra special is going to be denied from the Rasmus, which, I mean, makes sense. Also, of course, it's perfectly fine on Julie. And we're going to see, let's see, we've got Infinite Bulk Up going to one Rasmus, and I didn't see what the other one took.
Yeah, cast to last on Rune is God's biggest headache, as whatever.
So tell me about it.
All right, look. So his banish lasts for oh my god, as Naga Pendulum slings Gravity off the map already. His banish is going to last for 30 years, as you can see here. He's waiting to get out of it.
Wow. Yeah, he's just stuck.
And it does a ton of damage too. So if they're any amount of low at all, and you land the banish on them, as Nox is gonna get this one with the pendulum swing, they will like die. Like they're guaranteed dead, no matter what they try and do.
Nice. Yeah, really good stuff right there. It's definitely cool to see kind of the more niche, unique picks coming out. The Cast Last Rune also just showing that it's good too, not just kind of like a funny, haha, look at this is annoying, but like also very effective.
Yeah, and Gravity has died twice off a round start to that pendulum swing. Maybe he needs to start trying to dodge it a little. As you can see, there's the power. That right there was the power of that Cast Last, as he was hit in it for so long. As now Snake and Knocker are working to get this barrier, manages to get it, passes down, not a crisp enough pass, As Gravity is now going to jump forward and is actually going to get pulled off the map by Naka. Back to Snake. Snake using that Flame Flurry, trying to get the core forward. They're doing everything in their power, but Gumi is holding it down, spamming emotes while doing so, and hits it up back to kind of. There's the pillars to hit it back forward. Snake now with the core. Snake. Oh my god, Gumi using that Summer Assault, keeping it alive. How has the core not gone in yet? Gumi holding it down. Oh my, wow, I'm surprised Naka didn't die there. Got yoinked from the bottom of the screen almost into the hole, and Gravity waiting as long as possible there to try and get it in the front fling that was the left from what I imagine was the jump. I think it was actually his jump that got it. That slime hits it into the net.
Yeah, and I think maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there as well between, I think it was Kilius and Naka, both of them kind of taking up the same space, not really controlling a lot of space. I think maybe one of them thinking he's going to get it or he's going to get it. So maybe slight miscommunication. But as I'm saying that, already they're going to just answer right back with another goal.
Yeah, and Gumi making the mistake there of not walking up and just logging right in front of him, instead choosing to try and read the insta-clear down. Definitely had some time to walk forward there with the momentum boost, as once again kind of completely lost in that banish. Had no evasive, nothing to really work with to try and dodge it in the first place, as now Gumi's going to go forward. Gumi showing us why the ice skating is real, as he does use the rollout, uses all of his abilities, doesn't really get anything for it, but did manage to put some pressure for Gravity and kind of to work with now, and Gravity getting that barrier with the front fling, and the death touch coming out from Naka to save that one from going in the net, as now Gumi has to fight off Snake, gonna throw the Tofu Fortress, and there's the banish once again, and the core is just, it's there for so long, but now kind of all the space and time to work with here. Almost gets it past Kilius as he death touches it back into himself and does a little bit of a whiplash action to hit it back into himself, pops the Omega emote, and hits it into the bottom.
Yeah, really good stuff from them. I like Gumi also just really showing that he knows when to come out, when to go back, stay in the goal, when he can, like right now, he's at the half field point. When his team's able to apply pressure, he is able to walk up and help them as well. Right now, though, looks like he's going to have to be back in goal. Both teams just vying for control as first gate goes down on O2 Oxygen's side.
Yeah, and kind of once again off the map. Really has to work on dodging some of these kills that are coming towards him, as now Gravity with the front fling, and Achilles using that pillars just to try to keep it out of his net, as now it comes back to Kainub, and Kilius, nothing in his kit. Kainub's going to pick up the match point for his team, and there's the first win.
Nice, great stuff to them. I want to point out maybe a little bit of like the hidden meta right here for Team Bounty Hunters. Like you mentioned, Gumi has this. He's developed this meta where he is just able to emote all the time without impacting his play, right? And what I've been seeing, especially from like Snake, it is kind of goading the other team into emoting back at them. But if they're not able to emote as well, maybe that's kind of distracting them or making them play worse if they're focusing on emoting back. Not sure, but we're seeing a lot of emotes from both teams, and Gumi's definitely the one starting it. I'll say that.
Yeah, I wish I knew how he does it. I would have to imagine maybe he has something bound to his mouse that he's clicking 24/7. But man,
that would make sense.
I would not. I can't imagine that's healthy for the hands.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's pushing them on cooldown, man. He's just pushing the emotes on cooldown. But it's funny. It's funny to think like, if I can get the other team to try and match me in emotes, maybe I can make them play worse.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a mental hit. But what also was a hit that game was the fact that Naka was definitely putting a lot more KO pressure on the map, but they weren't. They didn't actually manage to pick up the win there. Even though what I felt like was they had permanent KO advantage over the other team.
Yeah, they really did. Yeah, I believe Naka had the not the empowered special. He had oh no, he did have empowered special, right? Specialized training.
Yeah, he did take specialized.
Yeah, because I know the cooldown one was.
Oh no. He didn't have specialized. Kainub had specialized.
Oh, Kainub had it. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But definitely wasn't enough to help, you know, kind of outweigh those KOs there.
Yeah. Stay able to come out on top, though. And we are going to be going into the next game soon.
Yeah,
so,
maybe
again, what kind of... Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say maybe a change of pace in terms of the map will definitely help Oxygen Overdrive to really kind of use their team strength more effectively with that rune.
Yeah. Do you expect any character changes or other adaptations going into the next game? Or is it just kind of like a play better type of thing?
I would have to imagine if we're not on Amy Zap, we probably won't have Erasmus.
True.
Maybe more of a standard brawler, maybe something like Juliet. Or maybe a different type of midfielder. Who knows, though, really? I guess we will find out as we do load into... I thought this was going to load faster, so I set it up to say... Never mind!
Oh my god, we're back!
We're back, and for that reason, we're back.
Yep. So I'm sure we're gonna see double Rasmus again. And okay, maybe not double. I'm sure we're gonna see at least one Rasmus. That's for sure. Unless one of the teams decides to ban it. I don't know if they would want to do that though.
You know what? If you can't match it, you ban it. But it looks like the team that lost against it isn't gonna ban it, and we have the same bans from last game. Maybe even possibly the same picks, unless there's something that, you know, they're seeing in the opening awakenings that would really kind of pull them towards another character.
Yeah, we saw them ban Vice both games now. Do you know what the Vice ban might be targeting?
Definitely Gravity. Gravity, big fan of the Vice. Vice is one of those characters that's really difficult if you're not mirroring her to kind of match your damage. She has a really high output. She hurts.
Oh, yeah. All right, so it looks like we're gonna be seeing the same 6 characters, both sides of the field, and yeah, set number 2. Let's get it started. I'm sorry. Yeah, set number 2. Let's get it started.
One thing to note: Gumi actually now on the Kai and Snake on the Zentaro. So a little bit of a mix-up for both teams, as I would imagine maybe Gumi wanting to take advantage of this Orb Ponderer, and Snake wanting to take advantage of the fact that Super Surge was in the game.
Hey, we actually do have Kai Zentaro now. So both teams, again, just trying to see who can break that gate first.
Yeah, definitely important to get that one out first, as now Gravity to Kainib to his own slimes that he threw down from the Make It Rain, and is able to Super Surge halfway across the map there, as Gumi now popping the funny Raditz emotes as he is going to Giga Blast Snake right in front of his net, as now Gravity with the ability to kind of work the core here a little, and Kainib, whoa, Gravity going to throw the friend fling and is actually managed going to kill Naka as the banish does come out from Kilius, but Kainib actually going to stand in the pillar so the pillar doesn't get the full time to form and isn't able to stop the core, as now Gravity and Kainib going to cook up a little bit of a passing play there and is going to hit that one to the top of the net.
Yep, really nice job. Just pretty classic stuff. You know, you got 2-on-1 against the goalie. You just pass it back and forth until one of them finds an opening, and they're just gonna get that goal. Nice and standard.
Opening they did find, as Kainub finds one to pendulum swing Naka into the net, as the pillar does come out from Kilius, but Kainub hitting it around the pillar there. Back to Snake, and now Snake towards Gumi, and Gumi gonna throw that Giga Blast all the way from the other side of the net. Comes back to Gravity, and Naka really needs to win one of these with his Whiplash. Manages to do just that, as now Snake pops the core flip, doesn't get any out of it. Gumi popping his own core flip, trying to live more than using it to clear the core, as now Kainib's going to pass this one to Gravity. Gravity has a lot of his cooldowns here, is going to use the Make It Rain on his own. Oh my god. Snake using his
what a Giga Blast.
Dash forward, and Gumi going to punish him for it. Gumi hitting him with the clown emotes there, and oh my god, Kainub holding it for 30 years is gonna wait. I don't even know how Kilius didn't get that one. I would have to imagine it was mere milliseconds between him catching that with his core flip or not.
Yeah, definitely just a really nice timing mix-up. When you're that close to the core strike, it's like impossible to react to it. You really just have to guess when the timing is gonna happen, and unfortunately Kilius just not gonna guess correctly there.
Possible react to indeed, as Naka, oh my god, Gravity's gonna Super Surge from halfway across the map all the way in front of the net, dropping a little bit of a clown emote onto Snake, probably for that Vice ban. I don't know if
Yeah,
we're watching ranked or a tournament game.
All right, so going into First Awakening, Juno up first. Let's see what they're going to want to take. Unstoppable being hovered by the Rasmus, but Juno's just going to take it. Never mind. And there's the orb replicator. You thought we might be seeing some orbs for this match.
Yeah, that Unstoppable is really good, especially against the Rasmus.
Definitely. Yeah, just kind of help you in the midfield. You don't have to worry about your positioning too much. It's going to be a lot easier to survive those Rasmus ults as long as you're not too close to that gaping black hole in the center of the map. And yeah, let's get into it. Set number 2 right now.
Yeah, 90% reduction. You know what? If you're able to outdistance yourself from that 10%, you're perfectly fine. As the banish does come out from Kilius after losing his barrier, is now Gumi with time and space to dribble to score, sends it forward, and Gravity going to blob. Oh my God, blob bounce his way.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that one's definitely hard to say on the fly. But you know what isn't hard to do? Kaidu picking up kills over and over, as now he has a lot of time and space, hits it into the pillar. I didn't even know how, I thought that pillar had that one. It disappeared, as now Gumi walking forward with the momentum boots. Doesn't really get anything. There's a make it rain, as kind of doing a great job there, elusiving, making sure that he's getting everything out. Oh my God. My voice is killing me here, as Snake's gonna core flip that one into the bottom of the net, and
yeah, that was really nice, really well played from Oxygen Overdrive. Though they were able to, Gumi was pretty far out on the bottom side of the map, so just take the core over the top. Gumi not able to get back to his net in time to save the barricade, and by that time it's just a matter of time before they're able to score with that much pressure on their side of the field.
Yeah, I've been talking a lot today, but Kaidu's been killing a lot today, as he picks up yet another kill with that death touch onto Naka, and now Kaidu to Gravity. Gravity sends it into the bottom corner, throws the friend fling after it, just to give a nice little bit of insurance, but doesn't need it, as he gets another point and throws another clown emote.
More clowns. Is there like some bad blood here that I'm like not aware of? Do these teams just secretly hate each other? What's going on?
So I talked to Gravity before the match, and he said that Snake was too scared to mirror him on the Vice. So I would have to imagine that might be what's going on here. Maybe a little bit of clown gameplay, because of said fact. As Gumi's playing some clown gameplays. He is dead, but oh wow, and Kilius doing a great job there. Yeah, I didn't even think he would get that one.
I thought it was just in, and they're able to capitalize and score off of it as well. Yeah, I thought that was just going in. I thought there was very little Kilius was going to be able to do about that, but yeah, able to get the save and just return fire immediately.
Yeah, using that shadow swap to able to get actually up to that top there. I didn't even think he had it there, but Kaidu already almost dead round start, as he's trying not to walk into the pillar, but he definitely does want to try and get this barrier, as he does dodge the banish coming out from Kilius, and I don't know how he didn't get hit by the pendulum swing. He is dodging every single ability. You'd think he'd be in the Matrix, but maybe sent to the Matrix he is, as he is sent into the black hole on Amy's app. As now Gumi needs to fight off Snake and Naka. Throws one barrage and is able to clear it up to the top side, but there's the pillar coming forth, and the death touch onto Gravity. Gravity showing us why he did take that Unstoppable, as that slime does come out. Not sure how it didn't grab the core there. I would have to imagine it tried to target it, but there's a disadvantage of the Unstoppable, as if you do get stuck in one of those rune pillars with that banish, you will take 20 million damage, as Naka is going to pull Kainub into that center hole, and now they have tons of time to work with. Naka using that pendulum swing to get that barrier, and now Gumi needs to clear this on the top side, is going to walk up as Gravity is sitting there defending him. Gravity using that blob bounce. That's the worst one.
The blob bounce, that's always the one that trips
bounce.
Yep.
That's the one that gets me. We need to not do the double like the BB or the FF. Like, it's not working for me here, but you know what is working? Kaidu, as he is going to pendulum swing. Oh my God, I didn't even think Naka would save that one. I was getting prepared to say the goal, but it doesn't matter, as Kaidu is going to hit that one into the top corner. And man, I got to work on my pronunciation for blob bounce.
I wanna point out Gumi's defense that entire round also. He was in like two different like 2v1, 3v1 scenarios. He was able to keep the barricade up for so long, able to defend the net, just keep the core in play until his teammates were able to revive. And that, there's such a cute, and there's a goal right there. I'm not even done with my sentence. And just right immediately, Bounty Hunters are just gonna close out that set.
Yeah, Gravity
But great
using
stuff
that
from
friend
Gumi.
fling. A little bit of a crazy quick goal.
All right, going into what might be the last carousel if Oxygen Overdrive does not get one on the board. Rasmus first pick. This looks terrifying. He is going to take Adrenaline Rush. He is going to be cooking with these abilities. This has got to be super scary. And Timeless Creator come out on Juno as well, just going to make those blobs even harder to deal with. They're going to be staying on the field for a lot longer. They're going to be a lot larger. They're going to be taking up a lot of space and just being able to inherently put up a lot more pressure just simply by existing. We've already seen how good Gravity is at using those friend flings and that blob bounce, and it's just going to be even more effective now.
And effective, it may not be, as Kaido dead already due to Gilius' banish. And Gumi now needs to fight against Snake here, as now kind of with the ability to kind of cook here. But it doesn't matter, as Snake is actually going to get the core from Gumi. Gumi trying to barrage it up into that top area, and Snake's just going to hit it right past him and pick up a very important point for their team.
You're making yourself say these alliterations now. The important point, the blob bounce.
It's getting to me here. But
we need some tongue twister exercises.
Tongue twister exercises. She sells cheese. Oh, I can't do it.
But going into next set, left side gate is open. Let's see if Bounty Hunters are going to be able to capitalize on this. Gumi again, just the impenetrable wall, not letting this core get anywhere near his gate.
Yeah, as Kainu now got the Adrenaline Rush proc off of Naka, as now Gravity with all the time in the world is going to hit it. Kilius going to try and clear it downwards, but Gravity going to throw that friend fling at him, and that Blobbo is going to hit the core right into the net.
Yep, really good stuff from Gravity. That's classic Juno, right? Like, that is what the character, that's what the character does, right? And he's just an expert at utilizing his character's tools.
Yeah, and Gumi getting that barrier with the Giga Blast, as Kaido, tries to throw the Death Touch right in Kilius' face. I don't know if he was trying to grab the core, maybe trying to pull him back. Doesn't manage to hit anything but the core, but that Pendulum Swing does, as he is going to get a kill with it. And now Kaido, all the speed in the world here, is going to get a pass from Gravity, is going to Death Touch it back to himself, able to dodge that pillar. And there's the friend fling, as it does send that one into the net.
Yeah, Kaido right there was just the one-man wrecking machine. He had so much control over that entire space just due to how fast he was able to move, just able to create so much pressure, and give Gravity an opening to score that last point.
Yeah, and kind of already getting that bottom barrier, and now they're on match point. Barriers open for them as this Giga Blast does come through, and there's the Death Touch from kind of trying to grab it for himself, and there's the Make It Rain, trying to push it forward. They want this point, they want this double. And there it is. There's the friend fling with the combination of Pendulum Swing past Kilius. Nothing they can do. Gravity throwing the clown emotes, making this look like my ranked games.
Yeah,
and
right?
They pick up a nice 2-0.
Yep, good stuff to them. Definitely, it felt like every round was close, but Bounty Hunters just they were able to get the kills. They were able to apply the pressure. They were able to score. They were able to score more goals, and at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, right?
Yeah, end of the day, it do be. As they were just simply able to get so much value out of that Juno pick. As I do look at it, Gravity having 85 redirects and 33 shots on net. So he had so much core control compared to someone like Naka. Naka only having the 78 and 29 shots. So Gravity really working a nice combination with Kainu.
Yep, absolutely. And we're going to be throwing it over to the analyst desk. They can tell you even more about how they were able to orchestrate this very impressive victory. Oh, but not yet. Sorry, guys.
I'm ready whenever, actually.
Oh.
With Kaz.
Yeah, no, good stuff again. Good stuff again to Bounty Hunters. I mean, they're such a strong team. Like you said, Gumi, one of the best goalies on the West, maybe just one of the best goalies, period. And really, really demonstrating that this game as well. A lot of just really smart decision making between when to apply the pressure, when to fall back. where to clear the core, where, safe areas. He's able to, deliver it to his teammates. Just really solid gameplay. And on Dubu also, which, certainly I think Dubu for a while was considered not exactly the best goalie, but we have seen a decent amount of Dubu, throughout the league and the qualifiers. And, Gumi also showing like Dubu can, he can hang with, the best goalies. He's definitely an extremely viable character.
Yeah, and to talk more about that, we're gonna send it over to our analyst desk. This time for sure.
For real this time, yeah.
All right. Welcome back to the analyst desk. I'm back with Yoki again, and we're talking about this wonderful game here. Now, game 1, game 2, they're pretty similar. They're the same run back of the map for both games, and only 2 of the 6 characters swap out for the second game. So, seeing a bit of a mirror and a run back for lots of the game here. The main big difference we can see between the 2 games and everything, and the 2 teams, would be the Awakenings and the Rasmus Mirror for the obvious Amy's app, where it's so SSS tier. So Yoki, what do you think about that? Yoki, you're muted.
You are correct. I am. Saying for the first round of the game 1, Naka played pretty phenomenal in the matchup against Kainoob. I took this clip as a decent example. This instance happened actually in game 2 as well. But what we see is Naka and Kainoob are playing opposite sides of the IMEZAP well. But whenever you have Gravity on Juno, who's applying this like forward pressure with the core, Naka, if Naka was on this side by himself, he would be more focused on responding to the pressure that Gravity is applying. And that's why Juno has kind of been considered a counter pick to Rasmus on this map and Hyelo. But because Snake and Naka are both like present in this top lane, it gives Naka a little bit more freedom to kind of do what he wishes, and there's less risk. And so then whenever like Snake is able to win that and kind of gets caught in rotation here. So it's just really good like awareness and good like strategical play. But after this first round, scaling really became a lot more of a factor. If you look at the picks that everybody has, we have Gumi running Ice Skates Dubu, plus the Rasmus Mirror matchup, and then a IMEZAP Juliet, then an IMEZAP Juno, and then a Rune Goalie. So the Rune Goalie is wanting to scale super hard with those pillar, those size, those core control trainings, or more in the cast to last, prime time KO direction. And then the Juno's wanting to like overwhelm and swarm midfield control. Both Rasmuses are looking to kill each other. Snake's looking to get KOs around the well. But then Gumi's actually a little bit different, where he's looking for glass cannon. He's going to be looking for missile prop, just things that allow him to exert himself onto the map. And so Gumi's draft ended up being, he started momentum boots and quick strikes. Then round 1 was able to secure unstoppable with the second pick. And then he picked up glass cannon for Ice Skates Dubu, 3rd round, and then finished it off with missile prop. And so what we see is Gumi, after the first round of draft, or actually later, this was last round I believe, is Gumi's has scaled. He's secured all of the awakenings that he wants, and he's freaking shamoving on his net, where he's able to easily push up to midfield and apply this like forward pressure. And then that's applying pressure even while like Kainoob is low on the side of O2's half. So like whenever Gumi's applying this pressure, it relieves pressure off of Kainoob and lets Kainoob like kind of reset. So then Gumi's still just playing aggressive, like on their half, doing whatever he wants. And another thing is, because Gumi has unstoppable, he's free to position up and aggressively around the well because he can't be punished, he can't be KO'd. So what we see is, because Gumi's such a problem, Snake has to overextend his positioning from midfield to wrap all the way down onto Gumi just to reset Glass Cannon. So Snake invests in ult to reset Glass Cannon, and now Snake's out of position. We have Kainoob and Gravity applying this offensive pressure on the top side again. And then that is able to like convert into a barrier. So that was really the story from game 1, is just Gumi and the scaling that bounty hunters were able to like lead up to. But then as we transition into game 2 more, it was kind of similar, but what we saw continued was Kainu, or sorry, in the first game, I didn't mention this. In the first game, there was a 14-7 or 6. It was a 14-6 KO differential between the two teams. O2 had 14 and Bounty Hunters had 6. All 6 KOs were Kainu's. Kainu had all 6 KOs for his team. So I was kind of trying to wonder and piece together the question: if O2 is securing all of these KOs and they didn't have much of a statistical deficit whenever it came to redirects or any other factors, how was Bounty Hunter still in that? And so then in the second game, that was a little bit more of my focus. And you see here, Kainu is gone. He's out of the play. And Gravity's applying this pressure. And really, it was just Gumi, bro. Look at this. 2v1 using the Giga to create some space. Getting collapsed on in this 1v2. Getting the cleared, not missing a read. Getting the barrage touch there, which misses the strike. And then wins this 50, protecting the goal barrier still. So then as Kainu respawns, we see the core being played aggressively on the top side. And then Killist uses the time to kind of get a little funky KO there on Gravity. So notice that Kainu and Naka are playing now the same bottom side of Imi as well. Whenever Gravity dies topside, there's an absence in presence on the side of Bounty Hunters. This baits Kainu in a way to whenever Naka clears up, Naka clears the core up to his goalie to rotate his snake. Kainu chases on the... ooh, what is happening here? Little twitch bug. Thank you. But Kainu rotates on the side of O2's half, and then this sets Naka up for an easy KO. So despite both forwards being dead, once again, Gumi is just able to hold it down in net. He loses the barrier there, but you know that's first barrier compared to no barrier. Gives Gravity time to get back up. And then this clip continues into the other half where after Gumi's forwards respawn, actually this begins with some nice little elusive play from kind of a Naka. Naka rotating, pretty elusive. Insane freaking read from Naka, actually. Look at this. Chat, look at this. Pretty elusive. Naka's crazy, bro. Mad respect on Naka. Then Naka trades it back. Kind of hits it with the elusive as well. But now this like offensive pressure that Gravity and kind of are able to apply after respawning from the earlier clip ends up getting the kill and Killist. Naka makes an amazing save there again, but ultimately it's not enough. And so that was kind of the difference. The big differential factor was despite O2 having more KOs, Naka ended up having Kainu ended up having 15 KOs to Naka's 9. I believe he was still the only person on Bounty Hunters who had KOs. But Gumi held it down. Kainu played great. Gravity did their job. They were just able to secure from execution, to be honest.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it really came down to just Gumi being able to hold out in those 1v3 situations. Gumi being the
Real
Iron Wall and the #1 West goalie title. It's staying with them today.
Yeah.
All right.
Gumi holds on.
Yes, sir. And if I have anything else to say to you guys, it's thank you for staying around for North American Striker League on the west side right now. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back with K-Bot and Saya.